Welcome to the next part of my video study of compound sulfuric acid. Now before going in detail about sulfuric acid, I want to explain you one very important concept over here. The concept is called constant boiling mixture. Now what is a constant boiling mixture? A constant boiling mixture is a mixture which boils without any change in its concentration. I repeat once more. A constant boiling mixture is a mixture which boils without any change in its concentration. Now let me explain this. Hydrochloric acid, it forms a constant boiling mixture at 109.8 degrees Celsius containing 22.2% of the acid. Rest is water. Nitric acid forms a constant boiling mixture at a temperature of 121 degrees Celsius with a concentration of 68% of the acid, whereas sulfuric acid forms a constant boiling mixture at a temperature of 336 degrees Celsius containing 98.5% of the acid by weight. Now, I'll explain you the meaning of constant boiling mixture, but before that, little bit about hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. Please keep in mind that hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, these two acids are volatile, whereas sulfuric acid is a non-volatile acid. Please keep that in mind. Now, when I taught you the chapter hydrochloric acid, I taught you also how to prepare hydrochloric acid in the lab. Now, after preparing hydrochloric acid in the lab by dissolving the gas, HCl gas in water, the hydrochloric acid which is obtained in a container, the percentage by weight of the hydrochloric acid which is obtained, it is maybe roughly, it is only say around 15%. It is only 15%. 15% what? Hydrochloric acid. When we dissolve hydrogen chloride gas in water by the special inverted funnel arrangement, then we get hydrochloric acid which has a concentration by weight 15%. 85% is water. Okay. Now, let us stop here. Come to nitric acid. Now, when I prepare nitric acid in the chemistry lab by the reaction of potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate with common sulfuric acid at temperatures equal to less than 200 degrees Celsius, then nitric acid is obtained. The nitric acid which is obtained, it is roughly maybe 40% only. This nitric acid is only 40% by weight. 40% nitric acid. Rest is water. Rest is water. Now, the sulfuric acid which is prepared in the lab, it can be concentrated by heating to a temperature of 336 degrees Celsius when it has a percentage by weight of 98.5%. The percentage, the strength is very, very high. So, please keep in mind, I have already told you, sulfuric acid forms a constant boiling mixture at this temperature and at this concentration. Now, come back and let us understand properly hydrochloric acid and nitric acid behaving like a constant boiling mixture. Now, this 15% hydrochloric acid can be concentrated more by boiling. If I place it on a Bunsen burner and start warming it, heating it, then the concentration of hydrochloric acid will increase. With the rise in temperature, suddenly when the temperature reaches 109.8 degrees Celsius, then the concentration of this hydrochloric acid would have become 22.2%. After which, if you continue heating, if you continue rising the temperature of this hydrochloric acid which has attained a temperature of 109.8 degrees Celsius, then from this 22.2% hydrochloric acid, both water vapor as well as HCl vapor gets expelled, which means this 22.2% hydrochloric acid has become a constant boiling mixture. So, to obtain hydrochloric acid with a higher concentration, we cannot use boiling to concentrate this hydrochloric acid which is 22.2% by weight. Rather, we can make this 22.2% up to 98% or 99% by distilling this 22.2% acid over concentrated sulfuric acid. So that is how we raise the concentration of 22.2% hydrochloric acid by distilling it over Kong sulfuric acid. The next one, nitric acid forms a constant boiling mixture at a temperature of 121 degrees Celsius and 68% concentration by weight. Now when we prepare nitric acid in the chemistry lab, the temperature, at a high temperature, once nitric acid is obtained, the concentration might be roughly 40% only, remaining 60% is water. So this 40% can be made, it can be made up to 68% by again warming it, by boiling the solution mixture, by using a Bunsen burner and boiling it. So when I start boiling it, the temperature rises from room temperature, and when the temperature reaches 121 degrees Celsius, this 40% nitric acid would have become 68% nitric acid, which cannot be concentrated beyond 68% by boiling, because at 121 degrees Celsius, nitric acid forms a constant boiling mixture having 68% by weight of the acid in it. So this is a constant boiling mixture. To concentrate nitric acid beyond 68%, we must distill this nitric acid over concentrated sulfuric acid. Now this one is quite easy. Sulfuric acid, just warm it, just boil it up to 336 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling point of sulfuric acid, when we can obtain easily and get 0.5% sulfuric acid. Now what is distillation over Kong sulfuric acid? If you want to prepare a higher concentration of either nitric or hydrochloric acid, what you can do is, you can take in a container concentrated sulfuric acid, and then you take the hydrochloric acid or the nitric acid in another container, hydrochloric acid or nitric acid in another container whose concentration is either over here 22.2% or over here sulfuric and nitric acid is 68%, and then you pour this over the sulfuric acid and you place another container over here. When you pour this hydrochloric acid or nitric acid, which is either 22.2% or 68%, then this acid will flow over this Kong sulfuric acid and overflow and get collected over here. So while this hydrochloric acid or nitric acid is overflowing over Kong sulfuric acid, this Kong sulfuric acid is a very good drying or a dehydrating agent which absorbs the water content which is present in hydrochloric acid or nitric acid, and that is how we can obtain either hydrochloric acid or nitric acid with a higher concentration up to 98%. So my dear students, it must be very clear what is the meaning of constant boiling mixture to all of you. Now I shall discuss with you all the chapter sulfuric acid, study of compound sulfuric acid. Next. Now let us come to the study of compound sulfuric acid. Here I will discuss only the important parts of this chapter. The first part which I will discuss over here is the manufacture of sulfuric acid by the contact process. It is very important for you all to understand this and remember it and memorize it properly, all the steps involved over here. Now in the contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid, my dear students, there are steps, step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4. I have divided this into various steps so that it becomes easy for you all to understand. In step 1, the step 1 of the contact process takes place in containers which is called a sulfur or pyrite burners, where either sulfur powder or iron pyrite FeS2 are burnt using oxygen of the air to obtain sulfur dioxide gas. Okay, so once sulfur or pyrite burners are utilized to burn sulfur or pyrite, we obtain sulfur dioxide gas. So this happened in the first step of the contact process. After we obtain sulfur dioxide gas over here, this gas has to be purified. It must be made pure. All the dust particles must be removed, all the arsenic oxide must be removed, all the impurities must be removed, and the gas needs to be very dry. If there are any impurities, that is going to disturb or poison the catalyst which I am going to use in the next step over here in the contact tower. Once the gases are ready for being sent into the oxidation chamber which is called contact tower, then the sulfur dioxide gas, it is mixed with oxygen gas, where the temperature in the contact tower is 450 to 500 degrees Celsius and the pressure is in a range of 1 to 2 atmospheric pressure. And the catalyst used over here is very important, vanadium pentoxide. This vanadium pentoxide is cheap, it is easily available, and it is less susceptible to catalytic poisoning. So, now, in the presence of this catalyst, this temperature and this pressure, dry sulfur dioxide gas combines with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide gas, and plenty of heat energy is also given out. Now, now this sulfur trioxide gas, we have learned in our previous chapters in class 8, maybe in class 9 also, we have learned that theoretically it is possible to react sulfur trioxide gas with water to obtain sulfuric acid, H2SO4. But this reaction, which I have written down at the side over here, is practically impossible reaction, because as soon as you take this sulfur trioxide gas and try to dissolve it in water, the reaction is a highly exothermic reaction, which means lot of heat energy is given out. In that heat, because of the large amount of heat, the sulfuric acid formed, it is not in the liquid state, it is in the vapor state. That means once vapors of sulfuric acid is formed, now it becomes very difficult for all of us to condense these vapors of sulfuric acid. Once formed, we cannot condense it, and vapors of sulfuric acid means it will react with almost everything wherever the reaction is carried out. That is why instead of absorbing sulfur trioxide in water, what we do is we send the gas after further purification into another tower which contains sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, where this sulfur trioxide gas gets absorbed in sulfuric acid to obtain a product which is called oleum or pyrosulfuric acid, which has a chemical formula of H2S2O7, that is called oleum. Now once we get oleum, now this oleum is put into a dilution tank containing calculated amount of water. When I say calculated amount of water, I mean if I want to prepare more concentrated sulfuric acid, take less water. If I want to prepare dilute sulfuric acid, take more water. So this oleum pyrosulfuric acid is put into calculated water or dissolved into calculated water to obtain the sulfuric acid of the desired concentration. So this is briefly, I have explained you and told you what is contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid. Now the name over here, contact process. This process is called contact process because the most important part of the reaction, this entire steps, takes place in a chamber which is called contact tower. Dry sulfur dioxide gas, pure sulfur dioxide gas, free from impurities, dust powder, dust particles or arsenic oxide. Okay, they are purified, and this sulfur dioxide is pure sulfur dioxide. It is combined with oxygen. It combines with oxygen in the contact tower in the presence of vanadium pentoxide at this temperature and this pressure. So all questions will be asked from these 4 steps only, and I have mentioned you the questions already over here. Purification of the gas, drying of the gas, removal of the impurities has to be done. They will ask you questions to write down the equations involved in all the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4, and finally they will ask you also oleum. They will ask you oleum, what is the chemical formula, or they will ask you to write down the chemical equation. They will ask you the question why sulfur trioxide gas is not dissolved in water, rather it is absorbed in sulfuric acid. So I have already told you the answer, because this reaction is a highly exothermic reaction which results in the production of vapors of sulfuric acid, which is difficult to condense, and once it is in the vapor form, it will react with almost everything in the room over there. Okay, now the next thing I will discuss is, the next thing that I would like to discuss is quickly general methods of preparation of sulfuric acid. These are general methods. Okay, now let us understand them quickly. The first one is reaction between sulfur trioxide and water to obtain sulfuric acid. This reaction is possible theoretically, but practically it is too dangerous reaction. The second one is when chlorine water, or when a mixture of chlorine gas and sulfur dioxide gas is passed through water, then we get a mixture of sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. The third one is a very, very important reaction. I suggest and I want to direct you to learn this equation properly. Learn it in the balanced form. When sulfur, which is a non-metal, it is heated with concentrated nitric acid, then sulfuric acid is formed. This reaction is very, very important. Please learn this reaction properly. Where sulfur powder with 6HNO3, it is forming 6NO2 plus twice H2O plus H2SO4 sulfuric acid. The fourth one is by hydrolysis. By adding water to sulfuryl chloride. Sulfuryl chloride is nothing but SO2Cl2. So SO2Cl2 plus twice H2O is giving again a mixture of H2SO4 plus twice HCl. So these are the general methods for the preparation of sulfuric acid. Okay, this one is possible theoretically. This one is also possible theoretically. This one is an important reaction through which we can obtain sulfuric acid, but the quantity of sulfuric acid formed is not so high which can be used for industrial purpose. Okay, only in the laboratory it is possible. This reaction is also possible in the laboratory. Sulfuryl chloride with water, it cannot give sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. So you must remember the general methods of preparation of sulfuric acid. Now I have come to the important explanation from this chapter. The remaining portion from this chapter, that is physical properties of sulfuric acid, chemical properties of sulfuric acid, oxidizing properties of sulfuric acid, acidic properties of sulfuric acid, when we use dilute sulfuric acid, the uses of sulfuric acid, the test for sulfuric acid, I will be giving you in the lesson which I will be sending you on the school's website. So with this I come to the end of this chapter, study of compounds, sulfuric acid. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.